We've been told by Veve that the drop system is getting removed and a queue system is going to come in its place. But today I'm going to share with you an idea that I've had that can make the drop system more exciting, the most unique that there is on any NFT platform, while still making it as fair as possible. Let's get started. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and watch this video on the channel. Just before I get started, if you are enjoying the content and you want to learn more about the crypto, NFT and finance space, then I'd love for you to be a part of this journey with me by subscribing to the channel. The drop system has been confirmed that it's going to be changing because the amount of new users that are coming on the platform, the drop system just doesn't work the way it used to anymore, and they want to make it as fair as possible. And although I totally understand that, it makes complete sense that we want to remove as many bots or potential bots that we can, I still will miss that feeling of excitement when you're going for the drop and that adrenaline rush is happening. You all know who have been from a drop exactly what I mean, with this excitement that you get for going for the drop, for chancing your luck with it and hopefully managing to pick one up. And I'm going to miss that, and I think a lot of other people will, because that excitement of gamifying Veve in the drop itself has made a lot of people grow to love what the drop system actually is. There's always a good reason to have competition in something, because we are competitive beings in our nature. You know, we want to win, we want to be the best, we want to have slight advantages, and this is what the drop system gives right now. Some people can have different advantages for certain things by watching the videos, by knowing all the tips and tricks, by being on the app itself. You know how to get the slight advantages, and by doing so, you're putting in more commitment to the app itself, you're putting in more time, which is one of the most valuable things that you can give to anything, and therefore have slightly better chances than someone who's just a casual user. So this can add a little bit of excitement to the game itself because you're putting in that work, you're putting in that research, and when it comes to the queue system, all you're going to do is you're going to hit buy. Everyone's going to have the opportunity to get in, and then you just have to hope. Big issue that we're having right now as well is that in order to actually get the best sort of chances of getting the drop, you have to have the best equipment. So getting a new phone that has a better processor or improving your internet to make it the best that it possibly can be, it's going to help in some instances and actually help you pick up some of the rebounds or even the drop itself, as you're going to be able to match your time with the actual drop time itself. Some people who have slower phones are not going to be able to do this. I found this to be the case with my phone, as it's not able to actually keep up with the same time that time.is actually is doing. This means that everyone who doesn't have the income to be able to do that, and people who are not willing to get a new phone just for the drops, are going to have some form of disadvantage if someone else knows all these drop techniques for themselves. Some have the luxury of doing this, most don't. So how do we actually make it fair for everyone, whilst also adding a level of competition that will make it exciting and fun for what we want to do? This is where we gamify the drops. Now, stick with me here and try to not judge right away, but listen to the whole video and maybe understand it from the point of view I'm going with. There's going to be some flaws, and I think it can be fleshed out, but I honestly believe this could be a great way of moving this space forward and becoming innovative like no other. Back in the day when I used to trade massively on FIFA, there was a leaderboard that you had, and it was your transfer profit or trading profit that you'd got. So every time I would go on to trade during the day, I was competing with my friends to see who could make the most profit when we were trading on the app. And getting up that leaderboard made me feel more excited about being the best trader in my friend group and being the best trader that I possibly could be by getting to that #1 spot with the transfers that I was making. This added a level of competition to the playing field. Not only was FIFA quite a competitive game, it made the transferring and trading on FIFA competitive in itself. Now granted, you didn't get anything for this, but it still added a level of excitement for you to climb those leaderboards and climb those ranks when you were doing so. Within Veve, there isn't really anything like that, and where I actually suggest to partner with a web or mobile based company to actually create a game which has leaderboards, which can potentially increase your chances of getting the drops when you enter the queue. If we look at games such as Dumb Ways to Die, we can see why they were so popular. There were many games that were addicting, and you wanted to become the best that you possibly could at all of them that were offered. We can say the same with Jungle Run and Flappy Bird, two games that went completely viral on the App Store and Google Play, which made people want to work at the game, to get up the leaderboards, to become better and achieve some form of status that you got from it. You didn't earn any money from it, you didn't earn anything else externally, just pride of being up on that leaderboard. And that's exactly what Veve could do to stand out. In order to be the best, you watched YouTube videos, you tried and played the game more to become better at it, giving you a slight advantage over your friends. Granted, some people ended up cheating on those games, but we're going to try to flesh that out as we move a little bit forward. What if the drop system took some initiative from this? 5 minutes before the drop, the game was released, and it was a random game on a set of rotations which we'd partnered up with a company who does these games themselves and has their own anti-cheat. You would each play the game, and you have either 5 minutes to play the game to get your best score, something like Trackmania does with their tournament. The lowest time gets eliminated, and the best times keep moving forward until the last one's left. Or you can do in the sense of you only get one try at a random game in the rotation where the best scores are going to have an increased chance of getting the drops when the queue system comes out. I'm going to break this down in a way that would potentially make more sense, just to make it more simple. So if we take Jungle Run for example, the game that you'd done where you'd flick right or flick left, up and down to jump over obstacles to stay in the game longer, and you got more points the more time you stayed in the game or the more multipliers you get. 5 minutes before the drop, that opens and you play one game of Jungle Run, for example. There's two different systems where you can play the game, or you can just casually wait on the queue coming and you don't have to play the game whatsoever. But what this does is increases the chances of the people who are more competitive and want to take the app more seriously. They can work at these games and try to become better at them, learn the tips and tricks to get better scores. 5 minutes before the game opens, you play the game once and you're ranked on a leaderboard for that. The people who are in the top 10 of the leaderboard for that drop automatically gets whitelisted onto the drop and can pay right there and then with gems to get it. And then maybe a certain percentage of people on that leaderboard are going to get a 1.2% increased chance of getting the drop. This doesn't mean you're guaranteed the drop, it doesn't mean anything like that. All it does is it's increasing the chances whilst also gamifying and retaining people on the app or a partnering app that they're working with. If you're a competitive person, then you are playing those games and learning how to be better at them. And if you're just a casual individual, you can just wait on the drop coming, get in the queue system, and then hope that your chances work in your favor for that drop. Again, I know people are going to be speaking about bots and people who are going to be cheating on these games. That's why I added the level of rotation, also partnering up with a company who specializes in games who has anti-cheats. We could also see that if people continuously get the best scores for these things, then they could easily ban them. Again, you could add something in like KYC for actually playing those games to increase your chances. I just don't know if they would want to add another level of security for something like that. I'm not too sure, but if they were to go ahead with it, I would see absolutely no issue with being able to use KYC so that one person can use one account. And if they get banned for cheating on those games for the drops, then they can't really make the other account unless they get someone else's identity. This isn't totally fleshed out, and I've said that before, but I wanted to give the idea because of how important this could actually be, making Veve so innovative that no one could really compete in the beginning. If it's also mini games, then you could establish a rotation that is completely random, meaning that if you only have 5 minutes to do so, setting up cheats for each individual game is going to be a little bit harder. Again, it's not going to stop everyone, but it is going to add a level of randomness, meaning that you're only going to get that one shot to actually get the drop and to have it happen. Maybe there's a time limit, maybe there's something that stops people from getting it, but you could also add more levels of security to stop people from cheating on these games whilst also making it really exciting and fun and keeping that adrenaline rush as you're playing. Both companies, if they were to partner with something else, could move forward significantly with what they're doing, because if Veve are working with another, say, NFT company, then that NFT company could release NFTs for you being good at the game, for you playing the game, and could also be in partnership with a play to earn sort of format where if you are playing the game, you have NFTs from the game, you could earn from using that. This not only increases the user base on Veve, but it also increases the user base on this partnering company, allowing them to give more money to its users who are playing, and also you the better opportunity of widening your knowledge in the NFT and crypto space as a whole. There are some games that I can think of right now that they could do this, and if the cards align, I would see no reason why it couldn't be the case. Some Ways to Die, Jungle Run, Flappy Bird, Angry Birds, you didn't earn a dime, but people played these games like there was no tomorrow. I played these games like there were no tomorrow. This could be the case of what we're moving forward with, and I could see that being a massive advantage for someone who takes this initiative and moves forward with it. Alright, this is next day, Andy. I've watched Orion's video over again and sort of fleshed out some of the ideas, and I wanted to add another one that would basically fix most of the problems that we would have if we were to do a system where you would only get an increased chance of actually getting it. So what Orion suggested is that 3 or 5 minutes before, we have certain games within the app. So it could be a game from Marvel, DC, Cartoon Network, or even casino games that some people have. I know it's a little bit out there, but we could potentially have that. And within that 3-minute time scale before the drop, you have to choose from a certain amount of games, and you have to either reach a certain amount of points, get a certain accomplishment within those 3 minutes, and those people who do get those within that time frame are then able to buy the drop for themselves. That means we're gamifying the whole system, allowing people to understand what these games are, expose them to new games that these companies are creating for Veve or out with Veve for them to then download after and to follow along the journey with that. What this means is people are therefore going to have a level of excitement within the drop system itself. They're going to remain excited to try all these new games and these new things that are coming out to then get a chance of getting the drop. People may be thinking, all right, what about bots then? Well, that significantly lowers the number of bots that can actually be there, because listening to Audien's video, I actually found that KYC is pretty easy to get past if you're able to buy things like that online on mass scale. So if we do go into a lobby system, which we're moving into, then people could buy 150, 200, 250, 300 accounts that are all KYC registered. And that just means we've got even less of a chance of getting it when you're going for the drop. When it comes to something like games that are on rotation, then it's a little bit harder to actually do, because you need to program these specific games, and often if it's a gaming company that makes it, then they're going to have anti-cheats to stop that. You've also got to think about multiple accounts. If people can go into lobby systems and it's just a buy now in the first 5 seconds and then you're in that queue, then a bot could easily do that for 400, 500 and even 1,000 accounts if they're really that determined. So when it comes to a game, it's a lot harder to actually do that. You need a lot more understanding of the fundamentals and to become a lot better at whatever you're doing in order to get by that system. Whereas a bot just clicking a buy now doesn't really take that much effort if you're just someone who knows what they're doing. This could then also add a real great level of content creation within this space, because YouTubers are going to be creating videos on how to get better at this game, how to maximize your effort, and really creates that excitement that Veve have already created when it comes to the drop system itself. You could also add things like MCP points when you're not able to get in or when you're not able to finalize it, so you could get involved in the raffle systems that happen with the OUP and the MCP to allow you to still enter into these if you're not the best at these games. This way, people are able to differentiate themselves with the work that they're willing to put in, and also allow the casual user to just get in using their MCP points, or maybe there's some different form of drop system for people like that who are just wanting to play the casual game. There's a lot of routes that you can take with this, and so many that really dive in to great areas, but I honestly believe this is one of the best ways to make Veve so unique and so innovative in this space. This is just an idea, and a lot obviously has to be more fleshed out for it to be something that's actually sustainable and works for the long run. So I want to give a massive shout out to Audien and all the other Veve content creators who I've been talking about this idea with, and we've been discussing it a little bit more as to how they could actually make Veve to continue to be exciting once they move to this queue system. Audien, I believe, is going to be making a video on this to help the team understand why this would work, as he's someone who's incredible at just thinking deeper on a level. But I wanted to make this video to just give an overview of how we came up with the idea, how they could potentially move forward with it. The other idea that I'd had isn't as exciting, but still something that is simple to do that Veve could do on their own. And this is when you go for the drop, you get a sort of random box system where there's either 3 or 5 boxes. And in one of the boxes, the NFT that you want for that drop is there. And if you choose wrong, then it goes back into the drop again, allowing the rebounds to happen. This also means that people who are going for the drop can get in, add a little bit of gamification to it. And if they don't manage to get it, then the rebounds are more sought after, and people can get more rebounds as the time goes on, keeping them on the app, keeping it fun and exciting, and bringing that adrenaline rush of you picking one of the boxes and hoping that you got the NFT that was in one of them. And this can be used to retain people more on the app, make the drops exciting, whilst also allowing people to get the better chance of getting it. Again, I'm not sure how to make this completely safe so that people couldn't guess exactly which box was going to be the right one, but I think this could add something to the drop and queue system that makes it more exciting and still allowing the users to feel like they've actually got the chance they deserve to get when going for these drops. Veve have been innovative since they've started, and in order to continuously do that and be a frontrunner for when NFTs are mass adopted, they have to continue to innovate and make this space something that people want to continuously work on and be a part of. The companies that will win are the ones that will do this, and when they're partnering with some of the biggest brands in the world, I think it's important to continuously do that on their own app as well, to keep people retained and to keep people wanting to come back. I know if games were set up and mini games were set up for these drops, I would do everything in my power to learn how to become the best at these games, to increase my chances as best as I possibly could to actually get the drops that I really wanted. Casual person could continue to just wait on the drops happening, click the queue and get in the queue to hopefully get the chance of doing so. But for someone like me who wants to take it more seriously, I would more than happy learn how to play these games, adapt my strategy and move forward with it to get the chances as high as I possibly could in the most fair way possible. But what's your thoughts thoughts on this idea? Do you think it's something that Veve should be moving forward with? Or do you think there's some other things I really didn't think about that wouldn't allow this to be the case? I'd love to know down in the comments below. I know the video on the screen will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.